Hello and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name's Chuck Wooden. I'll be your host. I'm joined by Megan Dooley, co-host, filling in for Donna Dunyan.
I know, for a second round.
Yeah, it's once again, it's great to have you here,
It's
Megan.
great to be back.
We have a part two of a two-part series here tonight. The first one was I'm gonna do it without my notes. It was the House of Heroes was the first segment. And this one is going to be going into something that's affiliated with the House of Heroes, is the Golden Cabasa tournament. And people are probably saying, what the heck is that? But we're going to get into that. It's a very interesting story and how the name came about. With us, Dennis Buden. Dennis is the what was your position with the House of Heroes? My notes
senior consultant and former executive director, and now we're here talking about the Golden Cabasa, so that's kind of my baby. So
you've been on this show a number of times, and it's always a pleasure to have you. We also have Bill Curtin. Bill is the vice president and senior business banking officer for Liberty Bank. He's a member of Liberty Bank Veterans and Military Working Group. Bill, it's a great pleasure to have you back.
Thank you
for part two.
Thank you for having me. Part one was fun.
Yeah, it was. We try to make it fun.
Part two is always better than part one.
Yeah, we're warmed up.
Now we're warmed up.
Thanks for being here. Let's jump into. Actually, we were talking about. Normally, we thank our veterans who were on the show for their service. But we want to thank your son for his service.
Dylan.
Air Force, Dylan.
Correct.
Where's he stationed again?
Yeah, appreciate that. So he's at Joint Base McGuire in New Jersey. He's in 3 years into his 4-year enlistment. And he's in a base security role, essentially. And this late in his enlistment, he's kind of moved up to the point where he's now training a lot of the staff under him in the latest and greatest weaponry and tactical maneuvers and so forth.
You can tell him that the viewers, the folks here at the Veterans Corner, we deeply appreciate his service.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Let's jump into this. I'm sure the viewers are wondering, all about this golf tournament. I tell you, before we do that, it was a great segment the first time. For those that haven't seen or heard of House of Heroes,
they have
their
deep
website.
History with the show too.
What's that?
Deep history with the show.
Yes, exactly. They were the very first show on the Veterans Corner back in 2013, episode 1. And here we are, well over episode 170. So that was a great informational show. We encourage those to watch that if they can. Let's jump into the second segment. And Dennis, tell us about the Golden Cabasa. I know it started over a decade ago.
You can't help but smile when you hear that.
Right. I was, and I'm looking at my notes, and I'm like, where do I go with this? I
you have
am
to be very
smiling.
careful.
I am smiling. I know the history. I've heard it.
I haven't, and I'm excited.
The viewers, I'm sure they'd like to hear it. And obviously, it has to do with a tremendous activity for the veterans.
The
veterans.
So when I started this tournament. It's a golf tournament. It's a charity golf tournament. It wasn't a charity golf tournament. It was the idea I had in my head back in 2009 when we had the first. As a matter of fact, I think we called it the Golden Kielbasa Invitational, and we just had a lot of fun with it. And the whole intention was for family and friends. I think we only had 9 guys play the first year. And just to have some fun on the golf course. Charity was the last thing on our mind. We just wanted to have a nice outing for family and friends. And the second year, we had such a good time. We did it again the second year, and we had 36 players. And we had a big kind of cookout back at our home in Manchester for everybody that was there. I was affiliated with a club in New Britain at the time, the Northwestern Veterans Club, a terrific club in New Britain. And the members were there, and the guys who golfed, and we had some gag raffles, and we had a good time. Cooked some burgers and dogs, and at the end of the night, I had somehow, some way, I think people must have been giving my wife some money or just thanking her. We had a great time, or want to help you out with some expenses, and I had $200 in my pocket.
Wow.
And I was like, I can't keep this money. I mean, what should I do with it? So you know what? I gave it back to the Northwestern Veterans Club, and with that small gesture and only $200, and I was thinking to myself, if I could do something like that without even thinking twice about it, I should turn this into a charity event. So I'll to make the long story short, we are now 12 years into this event. It has become what I believe is the biggest veterans charity golf event in the state of Connecticut. We have raised more than $150,000 over our history. We have upwards of 200 golfers at Tunxus Plantation Country Club every fall. We have enjoy the support of terrific companies and sponsors, like our presenting sponsor, Liberty Bank. We can't do this kind of stuff without sponsors like that. And they've jumped on board. Farmington Bank was our original presenting sponsor. When Farmington Bank was dissolved and went away, Liberty Bank jumped right in, and they've been on board. We're in our second year now with Liberty Bank, and this year's event is on Friday, October 7th, and it's going to be at Tunxus Plantation. And I'll tell you, you don't have a better time at a golf tournament than you do at the Golden Kielbasa.
I've seen the pictures.
I can attest to that.
And so, Dennis, you say it is the Golden Cabasa Veterans Open. Now, in my mind, I'm going, how in the world can a guy, besides who's Polish, I could tell you whenever somebody says Kabasa, you could look at the little corner of my mouth right here where the drool is, Pavlov's dog, because I'm Polish, grew up eating my Kabasa and kapusta. But how did you get the name Golden Cabasa? And
well, you know
also,
what? I've been asked that question a million times, and like I say, it's all tied back into the fact that it wasn't started out as a charity event. It was meant to be fun. And listen, I'm Polish. I'm from New Britain. My parents grew up on Broad Street in Little Poland in New Britain. And, we grew up eating and loving kielbasa. And I said, you know what? What's more fun than calling this event the Golden Kielbasa? So we did. And I'll tell you, even to this day, now it's a much more, even though we still have an awful lot of fun, there is a purpose and a much more serious reason for having the event. But still, it puts a smile on people's faces, and they remember this event. If for no other reason than the special name that it has.
And also, the person who wins this tournament is the trophy. Please tell me it is a gold-plated Cabasa, please.
No, I have a better story than that.
Okay.
That is a great suggestion.
We take great pride in the fact that our tournament is filled with average golfers. I mean, we got some good golfers too, but we encourage golfers of all skill levels to play because it's all about fun and raising money. And actually, we give the last place group an actual homemade kielbasa that has been cryovac'd for over 13 years now.
Hey Chuck, you want to start a team? I'll sink you like a stone, and we'll win that trophy.
I'll tell you, people they intentionally blow shots so they can claim the golden kielbasa.
Is it too late to sign up?
Yeah, it is not. It is not too late. It is not too late.
That is You said it's a very serious cause, but it's a heartwarming cause.
Yeah, it is.
And to help the house. So there's a special component to this that makes it stand out from any other charity golf tournaments. And you are very proud of it. And it comes across with the way that you answer it and even the way that you hold yourself. So this is like, as you said, this is your baby. This is your pride and joy.
Sure.
You have a distinguished local veterans at your post-golf dinner. And so first, how have you honored the past veterans, and who are you going to be honoring this year?
Yeah, so, there are so many charity golf tournaments out there, and they're all well-meaning, and they all raise important dollars for important causes. But, by and large, you have a charity golf tournament, and then you have your dinner afterwards, and you have your raffle, and you go home. And we take great pride with the Golden Kielbasa, by the way, which is a DAV Hardware City Chapter 8 event hosted by the Disabled American Veterans Hardware City Chapter 8. Raises money for the DAV and for House of Heroes Connecticut and other veterans charities. But we have a very special component. The post-golf dinner is an event unto itself because we honor distinguished local veterans every single event every year. And this year we're honoring two New Britain business community icons. We're going to be honoring them posthumously. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I always have trouble with it. Yeah. But Angelo Tommaso Sr. and Angelo Tommaso Jr. Many people in Connecticut are familiar with the Tommaso business name and the importance of that company in the construction industry for decades. And what a lot of people don't realize is that Angelo Sr. served proudly in World War I, and Angelo Jr. Served proudly in World War II in the South Pacific, and he's even a Purple Heart recipient. So we're taking an opportunity here to look back and thank them. The third veteran we're helping, or rather honoring this year at the 2022 Golden Cabasa, is a gentleman by the name of Al Nelson. Now, Al Nelson is a Greatest Generation veteran. He's going on 95 years old.
God bless him.
Still vibrant. Everybody in New Britain knows Al Nelson because he's the city's #1 baseball fan. He has been at every New Britain Red Sox, Rock Cats, New Britain Bees game since the team relocated from Bristol to New Britain in 1983. And not only, and he served in the Navy in the South Pacific in World War II, and he also is a 32-year veteran of the New Britain Fire Department. So we're looking forward to honoring. I mean, these gentlemen are community heroes. They're icons. The Tommasos, Al Nelson, and we're really looking forward to it.
That is so cool. When you mentioned the Rock Cats, that brings me back. Rock Cats.
Well, I remember when they left Bristol.
Sure, that's right. Broke a lot of hearts in Bristol, as a matter of fact.
Actually, that was the year that I was discharged active duty.
There you go.
In 1983.
There you go.
I remember that. Muzzy Field.
Yeah, Bristol.
The historic Muzzy Field.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, there's something special when you honor a Greatest Generation veteran. I think we all here at this desk and all of our viewers have a certain respect for those who are in their 90s now, fought in World War II, the Greatest Generation. They call them the Greatest Generation for a reason. And it's really special when they're still with us today and they're still vibrant and you can take the opportunity to honor them. Al isn't the first Greatest Generation veteran we've honored at the Golden Kielbasa. We've honored Iwo Jima veterans. We've honored Ed Riccio.
Yes, out of Bristol.
Ed Riccio, who, God bless Ed, he passed away a few years ago.
Pearl Harbor.
Back, I think, in 2015, we honored him at the Golden Kielbasa, a Pearl Harbor survivor. Yeah. So it's just really, really special stuff.
Yeah. It's, you've got, I know the success of this tournament, it doesn't just happen. Tell us about the corporate community, how they've helped, like Liberty Bank. What have they meant to the success?
Well, thanks for giving me that opportunity, Chuck. And I'm going to give Bill here an opportunity to speak too, because these events don't happen without sponsorship support. We're very fortunate to have Liberty Bank as our presenting sponsor. The Tommaso Group is a diamond sponsor this year. Connecticut Army Aviation Association is a terrific sponsor of ours this year. Jasco Development. Manafort Brothers Partners out of Plainville just jumped on board recently to support. Now, these companies recognize why we're holding this event and the importance of the causes that we're supporting, and they generously give of their dollars. And I'll let Bill talk about Liberty Bank's support. You know, they jumped on board last year when we came back after 2 years off after COVID. I didn't have a presenting sponsor. Farmington Bank had dissolved. And I'm just so thrilled to have Liberty with us. Tell us a little bit about your experience last year at the Golden Cabasa.
Yeah, so thank you. It was amazing. I mean, you guys run such a fantastic tournament. Liberty Bank is proud to support and sponsor, presenting sponsor of the Golden Kielbasa.
The Golden Kielbasa.
I love saying it. Golf tournament. And, you know, Dennis, I first met you last year for the first time, and we're out at the, I don't know, 7th hole out there by the snack shack. And
eating Martin Russell's grilled kielbasa, by the way.
Right. It was just an amazing sandwich. And you introduced yourself. We had a nice chat. And so I appreciate the opportunity to represent the bank, to show our appreciation for the opportunity to sponsor such an amazing golf tournament and event.
And Bill played in last year's event, but we also had Liberty Bank volunteers helping us at registration and so forth. It's just a terrific partnership, and I'll tell you, you know, what other charity golf tournament are you going to go to that when you hit the 9th hole and you hit the turn, you get a grilled kielbasa sandwich?
Nowhere.
I mean, come on.
Nowhere.
Come on.
Can
And
we
it's
sign
Martin
up right
Russell's
now?
kielbasa, by the way.
I mean, I'm sure there's people watching me wipe this corner of my mouth because they're like, oh, there goes Megan. She's hungry.
And believe me, they never run out.
So how did you place last year?
How did I play?
Yeah.
Well, we happened to, our foursome happened to win it last year. So not because of me. But,
Unfortunately, you played too well to earn the Golden Kielbasa.
yeah, so
though.
now I've got to rework that and say, look, we got to blow a lot of shots this year to get the
slicing,
Golden Kielbasa.
hooking.
That's the prize. That's the, right? So, but Dennis has done a fantastic job, and his team, because it takes a team, to pull something that's gotten this big together over the years to grow the tournament to the point of where it's at now, and we're just so appreciative to be part of that.
I do just want to say, Bill, that you know, thanks to you, but you know, the people of Liberty Bank have been terrific, and I want to mention Amy Craffa's name. Amy has just been wonderful. She's been my point of contact from day one. She's committed to the bank. She's committed to her community, and she's a wonderful person to work with. And just want to thank Amy and all of the team from Liberty Bank.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and Amy would appreciate that, and I'll make sure I tell her that.
Well, maybe she could watch and see that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But you know, the tournament is just a great day of golf at a well-maintained Texas golf course.
Yeah.
And the dinner is second to none. I mean, from the appetizers to the main course, the food that Dennis and his crew roll out is just amazing. The best I've had in any tournament I've been in.
Now, to get off track a little bit from the questions, but if you don't golf, can you sign up for the dinner?
You can. You can. As a matter of fact, we do. As I mentioned, and I only started doing that a few years ago because it became clear to me with our honoring of distinguished local veterans at the post-golf dinner each year that we were creating something special, kind of unto itself. And the dinner is something that people come to quite not interested in golf at all. They want to be there for the dinner and to honor these veterans that we honor. So you can, by the way, purchase tickets for the event.
One
for
of
the dinner.
the second part of that question that I had earlier was COVID. COVID's affected all aspects of our lives, all organizations, businesses, you name it, it's affected. How did it affect the tournament, and how difficult was it to?
It was very difficult. You know, frankly, after 2018, that was our 10th anniversary year, 2018. I chose, as the tournament organizer, to take 2019 off. I said, you know, we've done a lot of good work. I want to continue this tournament, but I'm taking this year off. So we took off 2019. Little did I know that in March of 2020, COVID would come up. So we actually missed 2 years in a row. Now, when you run a charity event, momentum is important. You know, word of mouth,
Absolutely.
and enthusiasm. To lose 2 years for a major charity event is a significant blow. But I'll say, and that was at the same time that we lost Farmington Bank, but Liberty Bank stepped up to be our presenting sponsor for 2021 when we came back. We came back strong last year. We're going to be even stronger this year. We got a wonderful lineup of golfers, honoring terrific veterans, a terrific list of including new sponsors that are going to help us out. So I'm looking forward to maybe our biggest year ever this year.
Great comeback.
And Bill and Dennis, I know this is going to be a phenomenal event. And you talked about momentum, but what struck me is that this is a tournament where there is no pressure to be the best. You don't have to hit a certain qualification, a par, or forgive my lack of golf knowledge. So this event is perfect for me, but it's also accessible. And so anybody can sign up, anybody can play. And also it's for such a tremendous event, which is helping veterans, those who have sacrificed so much, and they've come home and they get to really enjoy the community and camaraderie of Connecticut, really.
Right, exactly.
And also Connecticut has that unique Polish community. I grew up in it, did Warsaw Park in Ansonia, and no one can bring the cheers, the celebration, the music, and the good feeling like the Polish. And I'm sure there's Italians, and they're all saying, no, that's us. But I appreciate that you are infusing that feeling of family into honoring our servicemen. So I wish you well.
Thank you.
On October 7th. And thank you both for your support of veterans. And also for your son, Dylan, who is serving 3 out of 4 years. He must be so excited that he's seeing the sun on the horizon and has his whole future ahead of him. That's phenomenal. So why don't we go over again how people can register for the Golden Cabasa Veterans Open?
Well, the website is www.davchapter8.org. Like I say, it's the Golden Kielbasa Veterans Open, but this is a DAV Chapter 8 sponsored event or hosted event. And you know, those of you in your audience know the Disabled American Veterans, one of the largest veteran service organizations in the country, of course. And very proud to be associated with DAV Chapter 8. And they host the event. Go to that website, go under events, look to, you'll find the Golden Kielbasa Veterans Open and all the information you could possibly need. You can sign up for the dinner, you can sign up for a sponsorship, you can sign up to golf, you can learn about the veterans that we've honored in the past and the veterans that we're going to honor this year.
You know, they've been with you since day one, haven't they? Chapter 8?
Well, as a matter of fact, they came on board probably a couple years later, you know, after we first started. Again, as I mentioned, it wasn't a charity event, but it's been a wonderful marriage. You know, I started this as kind of a personal thing, but it's become kind of global within our own community, you know, with DAV on board as our host. You know, we need a nonprofit partner to host. You need a nonprofit to host a charity event. And so if I want to have an event that helps out a community cause, that's all well and good. But for people to make donations and so forth, you need to be affiliated with a registered nonprofit. That was my original impetus to find an appropriate organization, and DAV fit the bill, and they couldn't be more supportive of this. All the DAV board members and members help us out, and it's just a great event.
You know, we've had the American Legion, we've had the VFW on. I don't think of all these years, all these episodes, I can't remember having a DAV on. What I'd like is to get in touch with you later.
Sure.
Give me a contact person. We'd love to have the DAV on the show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, Chapter 8 over in New Britain, because
that'd be nice.
Everything that they do. So, got about a minute left.
Okay.
I've had these allergies. I've been holding this cough back, and I feel one coming. So the timing is actually perfect. I don't know if I'll make it the next minute here without coughing, but I want to thank you very much. It was an honor to meet you, Bill. It was great to see you again, Dennis.
Yep.
You had
Chuck.
both of us. I mean, it was really nice to have you here.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks,
Megan.
These
Thank
two
you.
episodes have been,
Yeah.
it just flowed. It was a great conversation.
We make a great team.
Yeah.
All four of us.
Hey,
Let's form
do
a
it
golf
again.
team. Let's do this.
There you go.
Let's support our
Maybe,
veterans.
maybe we'll win the Golden Cabasa.
This could be a foursome right here. I don't know.
And you know what? The place below that, they get the kishka. How about that?
The Kishka. Who stole the
Okay.
Kishka?
That's about all the time we have, folks. Once again, thank you. Thank you. We look forward to having you back. Give us some updates. For the Veterans Corner, we'd like to say good night to our viewers. Thank you for watching. Good night and see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.
You doing this? Okay. So
Yeah, I saw you, and that's the
Yeah.
Welcome, I'm Nick Augustino. I'd like to welcome you to the Clam Box, where we do seafood our way. We got lobster roll, fried clams, fish and chip, fried shrimp, and our famous onion rings. We put a lot of precaution into the safety for you and your family. Not only do we use plexiglass at the cash register and sanitizer, we all wear gloves and we all keep a 6-foot distancing, and everybody must wear a mask. We carry all the options. We got DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and of course, we got curbside where we bring it right to your car. Online ordering is available at clamboxnewbritain.com or by calling us at 860-357-3118. The Clam Box, 586 West Main Street, New Britain.